What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, Appalachian Smokewagon. Thanks for clicking. I told you we'd get back to some pews. Today we're talking about my ultimate Glock 34 build. And as we all know, they're discontinuing the 34 and a bunch of other models. I'm not sure, but I think what they're going to do is go pretty modular. And I guess with pretty much the use of optics now, you don't really need a long slide. The long slide just helped you with giving you sight radius. So I don't know. I'm a big dude and I like the long guns. Like I have a 17L, a 34. I like the bigger guns, and so I'm glad I got one before they discontinued them. And I guess I'm going to try to find a couple more on the used market and pick them up since they won't be made anymore. But anyways, if you don't mind, smash that subscribe button for me and leave me a comment, like the video. I'd really appreciate it, and it really helps the channel. We're growing, so hang in there with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then what are you waiting on? So let's get into the video. This is my ultimate G34 build. And there's a couple things on it that I could still upgrade. This is an inside the waistband holster for the G34, and I do carry this inside the waistband sometimes, not every day. But I do carry this and have carried it. It's a little more uncomfortable, but I have a ramjet on my 19X, and it's fair, almost the length of a 34. But I'm a big dude. I'm 6'5", about 260, so it conceals fairly well. So let's get into it. This is a Dara holster in carbon fiber. I do have some of the tier 1 wedges on it, which are kind of mushy and do help make it not cut into your pelvic area. So this has been a really good holster. One thing I wish these were adjustable, these belt straps. I do like the loops. I just wish they were adjustable, because where they're at right now, it sets it really, really low in my pants line, which is fine. Just on trying to get a quick draw, it's hard to get my hand in there to build my master grip. But that's the only gripe I have with this holster. It's held up well. I've carried it a lot. It's built pretty strong right here, where a lot of my other appendix holsters tend to break after carrying them for a while. This one I've not had any trouble with. So that's the first part of the ultimate 34 build. We have a let's show you that we're clear. See the orange follower, nothing in the chamber. This is a Terran Tactical +5 magazine extension. Really good mag extension. These are YouTube compliant mags, so YouTube, they are compliant. With the Terran Tactical magwell, you can use flush fit mags, but if you had some kind of malfunction and had to rip it out, there's really no way you would be out of the training or whatever you're doing, because you have nowhere to get in and rip these mags out. This magwell is pretty much for competition only, to be used with some kind of extension. But I love the way it looks. It's a really great addition to this 34. We have a Streamlight TLR1. This is my oldest TLR1 HL. I've had it since like 2019. You can tell by the wear on it. This thing has been drawn and shot a lot. Sometimes I'll go to the range and train and leave the light on the whole time, go through a couple batteries and just make sure she still works under a bunch of recoil, and I've not had any trouble with this Streamlight. I have 2 of these. I've not had any trouble with either one of them. one of my handheld stream lights. I did have a tail cap short out, contacted stream light, boom, within a week they had me a new tail cap out. It's the only problem I've had. I have seen some guys online say that these have gave out under recoil. I haven't had this one give out. I do have a Surefire weapon light on my to get list, so that's one upgrade I would make to this Ultimate 34 build. As you can see, my slide locks are shaved down because on a couple of my Glocks where I get the real super high grip, it makes my slide want to lock back. So I made this modification on those couple Glocks that do that. My 19X, I don't know why, I still have the full slide lock on it. I don't have that issue. I did on this one. So it got shaved down, and I kind of like it shaved down. It's kind of small, out of the way. It don't look the greatest, but for function, I'm fine with it. Stipple job done by me. I'm not a professional stippler, but I think it looks okay, and it does function. We got the gas pedal cut. I have had this part up here stippled. You can still kind of see it a little bit after shooting and all that with it a good bit. I kind of like it more smooth there. And now I make my gas pedal cuts a lot different than this. This was one of the first gas pedal cuts I made years ago. I'll show you the way I make them now. I make them more like this now, kind of curved. I just think that looks much better. And we have a cat hair on there. But yeah, I make them like this now. But they still perform pretty good. You get a really good bite on this one. I like the gas pedal cuts. Stipple, double undercut. I had a, I think it was a Strike Industries metal. It wasn't super extended, but it was extended a little bit. Magazine release button on here. It looked good. It was metal. The metal piece screwed onto the plastic, so it was still polymer interacting with your polymer mags. But what seemed to happen was under recoil, it would hit the meat of my hand right here and eject my mag. Like every 2 or 3 shots my mag would fall out. So I went back to the factory, and from now on I'll just stay with factory mag releases because they kind of ride flush, and I've not had that issue ever since. We're going to show clear one more time just for the safety people out there. Nothing in the chamber, no magazine. Slide and everything is factory. This is a MOS. We all know the weak point to the MOS is the MOS plate. So with this build, I went with a Radian Guardian, which you can see has the piece up here to guard the front of your optic, which is really, really cool, especially if you like racking off things or racking with your hand. It's just really, really, really well thought out and a good piece of kit. The way that it mounts and locks up is super, super cool. I don't think it's ever going to come loose. If it does, I'll report back, but it's kind of pricey for what you get. But I mean, I guess you gotta pay for them milling this out or cutting it out or however they make it. And it's a good piece of kit, worth every piece of change that you pay for it. Now the optic we went with is the Hollow Sun EPS. It's a enclosed emitter optic. This is my first enclosed emitter, and so far she's been really good. I've only had it out to the range about 4 times. I've probably shot 3/54 rounds through it. I plan on taking this handgun tomorrow to the range. Gravy Train and I is going to get some footage tomorrow. I plan on shooting this a good bit tomorrow, so we're going to film some content there. So hopefully you see some range footage with this gun. One thing I do really like with this EPS is it co-witnesses with regular height sights. You don't have to put the super tall suppressor height sights on. It actually co-witnesses with the small sights, which is really good, which means my overall dot is lower, so height over bore is less. It's just a bunch of pluses with your optic being lower. On my 19X, it's direct milled for an RMR, and I shoot that gun a lot because it's my EDC. Like, I shoot it more than any other gun. And these two guns are set up really similar, and especially now that this optic is mounted much lower, my presentation is pretty much exactly the same. The dot's almost in the same place as it is with my Trijicon on my 19X, so that's perfect. We do have Dawson Precision blacked out rear, fiber optic red front, iron sights for backup just in case anything would go down with this. I mean, it's a Hollow Sun. They're probably the best Chinese EM optics made right now. That's why I went with it. I want to get the Trijicon RCR. Is that Trigicon's enclosed emitter? I think so. The way it mounts is really awesome, but it's like double the cost of this. So for my first one, we're going to go with this. We're going to run it for a while, and if I end up liking closed emitters, which so far I don't see really any downside to a closed emitter, we'll be looking to get into the Trijicon closed emitter. So hopefully soon in the future you'll see that. What else do we got? I think that's about everything on the outside. On the inside of this handgun, everything is all factory. All the springs and everything. The only thing that's changed is this has the Glock performance trigger in it. And I know everyone's like, Smokewagon, that's not a Glock performance trigger. Look at that shoe. Yeah, this is the Johnny Glock's Vex trigger shoe upgrade for the Glock performance trigger, and it looks super cool. It looks way cooler than the Glock performance trigger shoe, which is polymer. They say it's a flat face. It's not. It's just not as curved as a Glock factory trigger. So really like this Vex trigger shoe upgrade. It's kind of expensive, but I'm sure to get these things cut out and made, I'm sure it's kind of pricey. With what you get, is it worth it? I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say if I had to do it all over again, I would purchase it again. I don't know how it does it just by adding a shoe. Now there is some adjustment in there, but I took the adjustment screw out completely. It takes your take up out to where you're pretty much right on the wall when you get on that. I don't like that. I've trained with taking out the take up ever since I've been training, and I like the take up on a Glock. I feel like if that take up's out, it makes it not as safe of a trigger. So I don't even use that feature. We still have all the take up in this. We'll show you the trigger pull. It's really good. And like I said, all this is a Glock performance trigger with a Johnny Glock's Vex shoe upgrade. YouTube, we are in a safe area. I'm gonna dry fire this handgun. We're in a safe area in the basement of my home, and it's underground all around us, so any which way I point is in a safe direction. So we are in a safe environment. So we're going to show you the trigger pull on this Glock Performance trigger with the Johnny Glock's trigger shoe upgrade. Like I said, we still got all of our take up. We come to a nice firm wall right there. We got a break. I'd say it's about 3.5, 3 3/4 pounds, 4 pounds at the most. It's super light, but not too light for like a duty carry. You do have that really defined wall. I mean, I'm yanking it and you can feel the wall. You're not going to pull through that, especially if you train with your handgun a lot. Show you the reset. Kind of a medium length reset, not too bad, especially if you train through it. I can shoot this pistol really fast. Then back to another crisp break. One more time. The reset is not as, it doesn't push your finger back as much as a Glock factory trigger, but what you're gaining with this trigger, I'll take the reset being a little bit weak. I can train through that. And I do have Glock Performance triggers in my main two handguns, which is my 19X EDC and this. These are the two handguns I train the most with. I EDC the 19X. If I had to throw a battle belt on and head out into the apocalypse tomorrow, this would probably be in my battle belt, in my safari land. What else? I think that's about it. This is my ultimate G34 Gen 5. Only other thing I would do to it is, like I said, probably go with the Trijicon enclosed emitter and maybe get a Surefire. But other than that, she's pretty ultimate to me. Glock perfection right here. Glocks are pretty great out of the box. You can take them out and pretty much trust your life to them. I wouldn't. Any handgun I took straight out of the box, I would take and run a bunch of rounds through it and vet it. You don't want to trust your life to something that you don't know if it's going to work or not. But if you just went and bought a Glock, went out into the parking lot and someone tried to hijack you, pretty sure your Glock could save your life. And that's about gonna wrap this video up. This is one of my favorite handguns, this and my 19X. We're getting ready to do a video, the ultimate 19X build, so be on the lookout for that. And with that, that's about it. You know how we ended here. Get out and train with your weapons. Zero your rifles, zero your pistols. Know your height over bore up close. Know where your weapon's hitting out at distance. Be a rifleman. The Japanese said they would never attack the mainland America because there was a rifle behind every blade of grass in World War II, and that still stands true. There's a rifle behind every blade of grass, but we're running short on riflemen. So get out, learn to shoot your weapons, get trained up. Times are crazy. Who knows what's going to happen? We hope nothing happens, but if it does, you should be ready for it. And I'm going to leave you with that. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to the channel. We got some knife content coming. We've got some range content coming. We've just got a plethora of stuff coming, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you like the video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your ultimate handgun build is, and we'll see you on the next one, folks. Smoke Wagon out.